Live stream should be running. And I'll click on that one and open the live stream now on my monitoring. Yep, there I'm hearing it. So that's working. Good morning. It is July 25th, 9 a.m. What day of the week is it? Monday. And what do we have right off opening? Before we started live, Frankie B donates $19.99. Says a little something to support the channel. Got to go back to work and catch the replay later. After catch the reply later. Have a good day. Okay, maybe meant replay, or it could be reply. I guess either way is valid. I'm going to start out the format. Well, it might be a little bit different. Because this video might get search results from people searching YouTube about this problem with the most recent update from Zoom at today's July 25th, 2022. So up to today, the most recent update is causing some crashes of Zoom just within the program. It doesn't even fully crash the program when selecting a virtual background. So I'm gonna show the symptom and I'm gonna go through some technical background about it. But if you're just here for the solution, you don't have to watch through all of that. There's a link in the description of this video that takes you straight to downloading a recent version, not the most recent, but a recent version that does not have that problem. You can install that, should be able to install that on top of the existing installation, and that should fix the problem. So if you just want the solution and move on with your day, you can just go down to the description. You don't have to watch the rest of this video. The rest of this video contains quite a bit of other technical learnings that people who are technically minded, that want to fix problems and consider themselves anywhere on the spectrum of a technical person should be interested in the learnings that come out of this, because it demonstrates quite a few things. So let's see, I'm looking to see, yeah, that update, Dennis is saying in chat, 5.11.4, that might have solved this problem, because this problem was apparently causing a lot of people issues. So in that case, if that does fix it, there might not be many search results hitting this video. I don't have a whole lot to respond to in chat and comments and emails, but there's this one from Jose from Puerto Rico. I expect to be addressing that tomorrow. I want to get right into showing the symptom. I'm switching over here to one of my other monitors to show that I have Zoom open, and it's going to do a little picture-in-picture thing here. Just try not to let that weird you out. When we go into choose virtual background, this is where the symptom would occur. The symptom is not going to appear on my computer. I'm just showing you the sequence that gets to the symptom. So if you come in here to background and effects, what was happening is when Greg would click on any of these backgrounds, any of these virtual backgrounds, the background would show up for a little while and then Zoom would crash. And I'm going to show a little clip of doing that actually on his computer. I wanted to show this screen on my computer first because we've got quite a bit of extra clutter on his screen. So what would happen is he would click on that for virtual background and he would see the virtual background come alive for several seconds, and then an error message would appear. So I'm going to go show that symptom by coming over to another monitor where I have that queued up and ready to go. So here we're seeing a clip of my live stream on Saturday where I connected remotely to Greg's computer, and here's his background and effects screen, and he's about to click on that and show the symptom. Over here on the right hand side of the screen I have process monitor open, and we're going to capture the things that the computer is doing in the background when this error occurs. So here I'm going to click the play button. This is just a 20-second long clip from my Saturday live stream. So my mouse is down here in the kind of bottom left area. I'm moving around a little bit so you can see it, and then clicking the play button. Start the capturing. So here's capturing started. Click on the background, wait a few seconds.
I never noticed that hourglass before.
And then stop. I didn't even notice the hour. Okay, so I paused that clip right there. Would you let me know, please, in the chat of this live stream, were you hearing the audio from that? Here's that. Pop out the chat for today's live stream. Let me know in chat, did you hear the audio from that clip? I'll come back to that in a moment. So here, I'm going to talk about, here's the error message that popped up. It says incorrectly that Zoom quit unexpectedly. Well, Zoom has not quit. You can see it still in the background. When he clicks on Don't Send, it takes him back to this screen. It doesn't actually exit out of Zoom. I'm going to click the play button on the job. Yeah, so see, when we dismiss that error message, he's still in Zoom. So it didn't really crash, but he still has his real life background, doesn't have the virtual background. I'm going to back up a little bit to show this window right here. Let's make that bigger. There's a thing here, a window here where you can describe what happened and send it to them. I think a lot of people, technicians included, just blow past these things and don't do anything with them. I have found successful experiences by sending to the manufacturer of the software. Sometimes I would type in here, sometimes not. But typically when I was experiencing that, it was with Microsoft products other than Windows. And I would click to send the report, and within seconds get an automated response that actually gave me the solution. So we didn't try that with Greg. It's possible that if you click send to Zoom, you might get a solution back. Maybe that wasn't happening when Greg was having the trouble, but it might be happening now because it appears that Zoom has issued another update that might have fixed this problem. I'm going to go ahead with the rest of this technical briefing about the symptom because there are learnings in it, are demonstrations of things that you can do when troubleshooting. Now, the rest of what I want to show here, let's see if I go forward on that. This shows all of the stuff that came up in Process Monitor. We're going to go look at that report because during that Saturday live stream where I was connected remotely to Greg's computer, I ran the Process Monitor on his computer, and when that was finished, I saved that log and uploaded it to my own computer. And then I reviewed that yesterday. And it didn't really lead me to the solution, but it has a lot of technical, interesting things in it. And I want to show that stuff. The solution wound up being find the recent version of Zoom that doesn't have that problem. That was challenging. And that's the part that people have had a lot of frustration about. And I have some technical learnings about that, how to be able to find the earlier version quicker and easier than what it took to do this time. I'm going to switch back over here to the chat and see what they're saying. Yes, they could hear the audio from Greg. Okay. And thank you for everybody who's watching right now. That is the full list of the chat room right now. Okay, so let's bring this back down to a smaller size, and then I'll go ahead and show the successful clip. This is a clip from the Ken Stout live live stream last night, where Greg is trying it, and this is a 24-second clip. This is using the clip feature in YouTube. When you go down below a video, just below it, there's all those little options that you can click on. This is the clip feature I'm using. So here I'm going to play this one.
Hi, Jeff.
Evening.
We have background.
Okay, so that was it right there. Now, I didn't actually get the dialogue of Greg before that, but if I scroll back to here, you see his real life background, and he's switching to the virtual background here, and it comes up. Now we're waiting for about 6 seconds for that error message to come up. I'll click play again.
We have background. Now we count.
No hourglass.
That's good. Now count to 6. without using your fingers and toes.
Well, that's Gotta take
Gotta
my
be able
socks
to
off.
cheat.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it's cheating to use fingers and toes to count to 6. Okay. So that was the success where it worked. Now I think he actually uninstalled the newer version and then installed the older version. I'm gonna come over to my Zoom and show. Whoops, that's the wrong button. When I exit out of this window and come over here to the Zoom panel, click on my profile icon, and down here to help, about Zoom, I can see that I have 5.11.3. When I started investigating this yesterday, I saw that I had 5.11.1. Now, I don't know that I ever declined a upgrade. It's quite possible that Greg was a seeker when he upgraded to 5.11.3. I don't know that. Not really important. But something that's worth pointing out here is when you go into that virtual background, the word beta right here is indicating this is a beta feature. It's not fully tested and proven. I think that has been shown there for a long time as beta. So they're still figuring things out. And in this case, something got broken and it looks like they've probably fixed it by now. What I want to do over here, though, is actually show the downgrading process. So right now I have help and about Zoom 5.11.3. So what I did in my testing of this, I just launched that link that is in the description of this video, and it installed right on top of the existing 5.11.3. When I came back in here, it said 5.11.1. Now, I don't know if that sequence will fix the symptom because I didn't have the symptom. Only some people have the symptom. And we're going to go into a little bit about who has the symptom and why. All right. Now, let's go over to look at Process Monitor. I have two Process Monitor windows open right now, and I'm going to line them up here a little bit and then describe what's going on. Here on this left-hand side, up at the top, we see Greg Guy's name. So this is the report from his computer during the symptom. And I'm just clearing out a filter that was there. So we only did a few seconds of capturing. I'll go up to the top here and we see that that's 1:18:07. So the seconds was 07, 18:07. Come all the way down to the bottom and it's 18:17. So this was 10 seconds of capturing, and it captured 286,695 events during that time. When I did the same process on my computer, keep in mind, I did not have the error. So I wanted to compare his computer to mine with these captured events. And I'm going to remove this extra item that I had in there. My computer captured 265,000 events, and that went from 28:52 seconds to 28:58 seconds. So I've only got 6 seconds captured there. I did comparisons. I did some drilling down on these. I'm not going to go through all of what I did, but the thing that was most telling is here we're back on Greg's. So I went to the top of this list, and then I just grabbed this scroll box on the right-hand side with my mouse and dragged down, looking for something that jumps out at me. Now, if I just click bunches of times in the scroll bar here for it to go down one page worth at a time, that's going to take a really long time because hundreds of thousands here. So scrolling down, scrolling, looking for something that jumps out at me. And it did. Once we get to it here in this area, as I was scrolling down, I'm still scrolling. I'm still dragging the scroll box. And there's a whole bunch of stuff there that says Z crash report. That's just screaming out at me, okay? So now I've gotten past that section. I'm going back up to find any of these. And then here it says Z crash report. So I put my mouse over this and right click, and there's this option here to include Z crash report 64. If I click over here in this column where it says create file map, I can right click, and that's going to be for including create file mapping. If I come out here and do a right click, I get an include option for that VIDDLL. Well, what I'm interested is let's filter this down for include Z crash report and see how much of that is there. So I click on that, and it takes just moments, and now everything that's showing on the screen right now is all Z crash report. And down here at the bottom, it tells me there's 32,957 Z crash reports occurring in that small amount of time. And I just looked around here and I see, well, there's some different operations involved. There's some different file names involved. So then I start tinkering around with this. Well, how much of this stuff is registry items? So here's the registry button. I'll remove these other show items. And now we're just down to, these are all registry items, 14,448 of them. If I switch over to file items, how many file actions are there? There's 18,404. I can do the same thing with network activity. How much is this network activity? Just a few things here. And there's this process profiling. That was intriguing to me. There's 8 of those. And then I come over here to this one called, let's see, process and thread activity, 113 of them. So different kinds of things going on here, showing me what's going on. One of the things that I clearly came to understand with all these different things it was showing is that it appeared that it was compiling a crash report, and it was checking all these different DLL files, pulling the information from there. I think it was also pulling some information from Greg's computer to find out what devices that he has, what device drivers he has, so that Zoom can have the information that they need to figure out what is the commonality between all these computers that are having the trouble. Now, the people who send the reports are providing useful information to help Zoom figure out what the trouble is. So there's many of us technicians, myself included, that are kind of just inclined to skip that reporting piece. But it really is useful to participate in that. And like I said, sometimes I've got a reply right away that gives me a solution. How cool is that? This did not lead me to the solution. I just found it fascinating to spy on Zoom. You know, we have people many times complaining about how their computers spy on them, or Microsoft spies on them, or Google. Well, we can turn the tables and spy back on them. Now let's go look at what it takes to find that earlier version. I'm gonna go take a quick peek at chat. I'm gonna figure out where in the world it is. I got chat popped out. So there it is. There it is. All right. So I don't see there's any troubles coming on. I see Rick Lakes has done a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Rick Lakes. All right. Coming back over to see what it takes to find this older version. So I did a Google search, Zoom crashing virtual background, and here's search results. Now this one that comes up at the top, it is nerdshock.com, 12 ways to fix Zoom background not working problem. That goes way back into history with other troubles. That's not today's problem. I am most interested in search results from the manufacturer of the software. So this one I'm interested in. Then we come down here, we have some other things, Zoom virtual background fix. And then there's a lot of things here that are not Zoom. And I did look around some of these. There's a lot of false leads in these, things that just don't work. Some of them, you click on them and they're clearly a website that is, their sole mission is to show you advertising. And they'll come up with a whole bunch of things about uninstalling and reinstalling and doing this or that and making changes here or there and doing system file checker and all that kind of stuff. But what I was really interested here is this from Zoom. Now, if I just click on this, I'm going to right click and go to new tab just because I don't want to lose this search results. I want to get back to it. And this gets into Zoom crashes when trying to add a background. Now, anytime I go into something like this, I want to scroll down to the bottom and see if things actually help. Now, this is version 5.9.3. That's really old. This is January dates we're looking at here. Well, I clicked into this just to show that what you click here, you don't know what date you're getting until you look at the dates. Here, that's 2021. That's not going to help. September 2021. That's not going to help. Here, June 13th. This is recent. April is too old because this update just came weeks ago. So this one looks most promising. Right click and open into new tab, and then I'll click on that. Zoom crashes every time I try adding an image. I'm going to scroll down and see what's going on. There's only 2 items here. So this wasn't very helpful. This is somebody complaining about the problem. This one's someone else saying they have the same problem. No fixes here. However, look over here on the right-hand side, related content. New update keeps crashing after changing background, and that's recent. And then here, this one is also recent. But here's the frustrating thing. Right-click on this, go into New tab, take a look at what this says. Jeremy 5, everything was working fine, then download. I had the same issues. Zoom support was terrible. I had similar problem running. There's no solution in here. So that's not very exciting. Come back to this page. So that was the first one. Then come to this one. Right click on that, open a new tab, and click up here and see what got going on here. Scroll down and see how much is here. There's quite a bit of stuff here. So that looks kind of promising, right? Then go back up and get to the top of that. Since the update, I've unchecked the boxes. I've checked all my Windows settings, yada, yada, yada. And then here's an update from that person giving more information about their configuration. Same thing happened here. Zoom auto updated, and now I'm having the same problem. Yeah, my video works fine in other apps. I have the same issue, virtual background or filter. My issue too. Same here. Confirm, same bug. Yeah, you can download 5.11.1 here. Yes, that's what we want, right? So let's go try that. You can tell by the sound of my voice, tone of my voice, that's not going to work, is it? Come over here, and what that takes us to, this is no longer Zoom. Up here in the URL, you see that's updatestar.com. Who is this? This is some website that's got a lot of advertising stuff. And then they say here, Zoom 5.11.1, and it's implying you can click this download button to get it, right? Yeah, no, not so right. I'm going to click on that. I open it in a new tab. And what that does is that takes us to a page that is giving us 5.11.3. That's the version with the problem. Frustrations abound. I'm sure a lot of people have gone through this, and they're getting frustrated because they're taking down false leads. Now let's get back to that one where we had, let's see, I want that one that had the several responses, because after this one, where this said you can download it here, come down here. Every time I click on the download button, it takes me to a screen download 5.11.3. So going to be using WebEx for a while. Thanks, I think they meant. So here's a lesson. Scroll down to the bottom of these lists and find what is the resulting conclusion. Now I'm thinking there's probably more here than there was last night. Someone's saying they're having this issue as well. Same issue, crashes. And here's adding freezing issue. There's something up here. Same problem for me. Updated today as soon as I turned on. Where is it? Where is it? Am I on the right screen or not? Yeah, here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So going back up to that one. So this is the one that took us to the wrong one. Here's a person making a complaint about that. And then on the right panel, you can select the previous version. No, that's not true either. When you go there, click on the download button for a 5.11 client, it sends you straight to the latest version. So that doesn't help. And then here's this Rapatsky. Here's the hero. Whoever this Rapatsky is, this is the person who found the right solution. And I'm going to show how he found the right solution so that we as technicians can do that in the future. Sorry for not doing it right away. I have shared the old 5.11.1 version in my Google Drive. If you don't feel that you trust that, check it with buyerstotal.com. We don't need to do that because he comes back later, well, no, it's Bjorn that comes back. I found an even more secure way of getting it from the Zoom download. So here he's got the link that actually works. Look down in the bottom left corner of my screen. Do I have the Zoom it running? No. User session expired. Why did you jump over to that? Row one. Nope, I guess I don't. So over here on the bottom left corner of the screen, that little tiny text, I can't point to it with my mouse right now because then it'll disappear. I have my mouse floating over this link. In the bottom left corner, in that gray shaded area, it says https zoom.us client / 5.11.1. That's the version that we need. Now, when you click on this, I'll right click and open a new tab, and that new tab appeared and then disappeared. It just appeared and disappeared. When it first happened to me, I thought, wait, what's going on here? But what happened is it just downloaded. It's down here in the bottom left corner. So that link just does the download right now, and it's in the bottom left corner. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it's opening Zoom installer. Which screen is it going to show up on it? There, and it is, yeah. So now it's initializing. It is actually installing right now on top of the existing installation. I tested this with installing it on top of 5.11.3, which is what I'm doing right now, because you saw that I had 5.11.3 on my computer. Now we go back here to my monitor number 3, click on my profile icon, come down here to turn off that picture-in-picture to help about Zoom. So now I have 5.11.1. Now I did not uninstall it first. I didn't have the problem to begin with. So do you have to uninstall first and then reinstall it, or can you install on top of the existing? I'm hoping somebody will find this video and try that and put it into the comments down below the video to let us know if that worked. Now, here comes the lesson for technicians. Come back here to monitor number 1. That URL in the bottom left corner, as I'm floating my mouse over this link, how can we get that URL when Zoom isn't handing it out to us? Ideally, Zoom should give us a place to download older versions, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. And typically what that would be is you would scroll down to the bottom and then look for a download option. And some softwares actually have previous versions choice. So here's the meetings client. That's what we're dealing with. When I click on that, we have Zoom desktop client. That's what we're looking at right now. Here's the new version that was apparently posted today, 5.11.4. It might also have the fix. When I float the mouse over this download button in the bottom left corner, you can see Zoom.us client 5.11.4.7185. So here's where you can get the syntax for that link. If we right click on this and choose copy link address, come up to a new tab, Control V to paste that. So if you're wanting an older version, come back in here and edit the version number to the version that you want. So I think it was actually .7185. So I'm just changing that one right there to see if that does the same thing. Press enter, and no, I guess that wasn't quite the right number, was it? Does this show me what that number is? No. But that would be a technique for us to be able to try to get the older version. You might have to go to another computer and see what was the full version number of the older version. Now, I haven't tried this technique in other situations, but I'm putting this out there into our technical community here, hoping that somebody will come across an occasion to try that. Or you could just go look up what our other older versions are and go experiment with that. I have not experimented with that. Now, is there anything else I want to cover in this? How far? We're at 30 minutes now, so I think it's time to put this issue to bed. Now, I'm going to put some time indexes into the description of this video later today that a person can click on different time indexes within this video to get to the part of the video that they might be interested in. So, nothing else here in chat to catch up with. So, that'll do it for this. I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.